What is going on, Rick and Morty fans, and welcome to another Schwifty video with your host, as always, K-Mac time. Now with Season 4 still being up in the air, us fans have to do something to pass the time without losing our minds.
For which we will go to any lengths to fulfill! Existence is pain to a Meeseeks, Jerry!
So today I thought it'd be a cool idea to take a look at all of the Rick and Morty games that are out there. Some video games, some board games, and there are even some other weird ones out there that are a ton of fun to play. But before we jump into today's list, I would like to announce an amazing giveaway of a Rick and Morty Monopoly set you guys are seeing right now. All you guys have to do is smash that like button, be subscribed, and follow the link in the description. It's 100% free, and you can earn multiple entries and improve your chances of winning the Monopoly board. A winner will be chosen in 3 weeks and have it shipped out to them. So make sure you guys are checking out the link in the description. Being subscribed, liking, and commenting will also help your chances. But with that out of the way, guys, let's jump right into today's list.
I think we'll take our food to go. No, you won't. The police are coming. You have so many questions to answer.
Starting on our list is a very simple iOS game, but it's actually super funny. It's called Jerry's Game, and it's a hilarious callback to the actual show when Jerry spends most of his time playing a stupid balloon pop game instead of looking for a job. While the game itself is simple, it's loaded with dialogue and funny lines from Rick and the rest of the gang. If you're looking to pass the time, or if you're on a bus ride or a plane ride and want to have a good time and laugh a lot with your favorite characters, then this is a perfect game for you. And on top of that, it's absolutely free. Our next game is called Mr. Meeseeks Box O Fun. The game is a card and dice game with challenges that players must complete in order to gain points. And it's a ton of fun to play, especially with other fans of the show. From explaining what Pluto is, why it's actually a planet for 30 seconds, to helping someone feel more complete as a person, there is nothing a Meeseeks can't do. And this game will have you doing all kinds of crazy, funny, wacky things along the way. Not to mention that it comes in this dope ass box. It actually has a speech button on it you can push, and it says all of Mr. Meeseeks' lines. Absolutely hilarious. One of my all-time favorite episodes of the show has to be Close Encounters of the Rick Kind.
Regular pancakes are fine.
So when I heard there was going to be a deck building game based around that episode, I was immediately excited, and the game does not disappoint. The goal of the game is to weed out and find the evil Rick and kill him. And it kind of plays similar to like a Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon trading card game. Similar to that, where you build decks, you have power-ups, they do different things, there's attacks, there's hit points, things along those lines. It's pretty simple. The game is actually loaded with inside jokes and will have any Rick and Morty fan absolutely rolling with laughter. So if you're into deck building games or card-based games, then I highly recommend this one to you. Next up is one of the better Flash games I've ever played on a browser. And the best part is it's totally free to play on AdultSwim.com. It's called Rick and Morty Rushed Licensed Adventure, and it's so damn funny. And even the name is hilarious. It's a point-and-click puzzle-type game that's fully voiced by Justin Roiland and the rest of the crew, and it's absolutely amazing. The humor is non-stop, and it's well executed top to bottom, and some of the puzzles can actually be pretty challenging. It's actually got decent gameplay. It's short, well, in terms of gameplay, but it's definitely well worth checking out if you guys haven't already done it. Please take the time and check this one out. You will not be disappointed. You'll be laughing the entire way through. And again, it's totally free over on AdultSwim.com. Go ahead and check it out.
All around the house. Just keep clicking until you find me 2 items. Okay. Well, what are the items? I need a glass lens, and I need a white cloth filter. Morty, you think you can handle that?
Dungeons & Dragons is an all-time classic that's been played for decades, but just recently it was announced that a full-on Rick and Morty D&D experience is coming out soon. The game will be put in the Rick and Morty in a high fantasy kind of Dungeons & Dragons environment that the game is known for, and it begins when Morty asks Rick to teach him about Dungeons & Dragons, and as fans of Rick and Morty know, then things go wrong well out of hand and quickly get crazy, and all kinds of crazy sci-fi things and hijinks will ensue. This sounds absolutely amazing. I mean, can you just imagine the possibilities of what a dungeon master can do with the Rick and Morty, with the portal gun, with the all the kind of fun stuff they can do with this? It's going to be an absolute blast. And like I said, it's not out just yet, but it's planning to be dropped sometime in the next few months, and I cannot freaking wait to get my hands on this, get a group of friends together, and try this out. Our next thing is not technically its own game, it's just an item, but it is really cool, and it is Rick and Morty. So anyway, this is the Rick and Morty announcer pack for Dota 2. Now, if you're into Dota and into Rick and Morty, then this is an absolute must for you. I mean, combining two great things is never a bad idea, and having Rick and Morty, you know, commentate over your game of Dota is downright hilarious. I mean, I wish I personally was more into Dota. I don't play it, I've never played it, but I wish I was, just so I could listen to the voice clips of them. They're so damn funny. And I also love that Rick and Morty seem to find its way into just about everything these days. I mean, you can never get enough. I mean, the more Rick and Morty, the better, in my opinion. And if you're into Dota, definitely check this one out.
Oh my gosh, it's an ultra kill! What? Rampage? Are you joking
Calm
around
down, Morty.
about this?
You gotta relax,
What's
Morty.
going on?
You're gonna break the whole thing, Morty.
Another great board game is the Anatomy Park game. It is a strategic tile-laying theme park building game that features up to 4 players and all sorts of havoc and hijinks. While this game may be a little more in-depth than others on the list for non-tabletop game players, it is worth the time to sit down, read the rules, and learn it with a few friends. It doesn't take too long to figure it out, and by the second playthrough, you guys will find yourselves having a great time, dying laughing at the jokes and the characters and the cards and the lines on them are freaking hilarious. It's an absolutely great time. It's also a great way to introduce fans of Rick and Morty into the world of tabletop games if they have never played them before. So give this one a shot if you haven't already. I guarantee you'll like it. Our next game, on the other hand, is incredibly easy and fast to pick up and learn, and it's another game that will leave you and your friends crying from laughter, especially if they're fans of the show. It's based on the episode of the same name called Total Recall, another one of my all-time favorite episodes, I might add. But anyway, it's a card-based game where players must determine what characters are real and which ones are actually parasites. Up to 4 players can join in on the fun, and like I said, it's super easy to pick up. A perfect party game for any fans of the show or anyone that's kind of into party games in general. You don't even really have to be a fan of the show to enjoy this game, but of course it does help. Absolutely a blast had playing this. I've played this multiple times with my friends at parties. Cannot go wrong with this one. Next up is another iOS game called Pocket Mortys, and it is one of my favorite games that I played all of last year. Essentially, it's a knockoff of Pokemon, but with a Rick and Morty reskin over top of it. You capture, collect, and battle things, all while following this hilarious sci-fi plotline that you know to come to love. It's loaded with typical Rick humor that you'd expect, but the gameplay is also really engaging and fun as well. If you're a Pokemon fan, or if you're a Rick and Morty fan, or if like me, you're a fan of both, then you'll feel right at home with this one. The game is also free to play, so that kicks ass too, and I highly recommend this one to any fan of the show or any fan of Pokemon.
You can do it, Morty. You just gotta get in there and do it.
And finally, of course, we have to mention the VR or virtual reality Rick and Morty game called Virtual Reality, which came out on PC not too long ago, about a year ago actually, and it's freaking hysterical. If you guys haven't seen this already, do yourself a favor, get your hands on it if you can. I mean, the only downside to this is you do have to own a higher end PC that can run VR games and have yourself a helmet. But that recently just changed, and this game just dropped out on PlayStation VR just a few days ago, I believe. It does kind of suck that you have to, buy the helmet if you don't have a VR helmet. They are kind of pricey. You're looking at $200, $300 minimum entry, but it is less than buying a gaming PC, so that's where I plan on playing this very shortly, actually. But the game itself, fully voiced by Justin Roiland and the rest of the characters, hilarious dialogue. I mean, top to bottom, well put together VR game. You're in the Smith house and helping Rick and Morty go on an adventure. You'll be crying laughing at this one if you're a fan of the show. It's definitely a must if you have a PSVR or an Oculus or anything else like that on that PC side. It's an absolute must for me, and I cannot wait to get my hands on it and try this one out very, very soon. But anyway, guys, that's all I have for today, guys. 10 awesome Rick and Morty games you guys should definitely check out that will fill the void as we sit around and wait for Season 4. If you guys want to try out some of these games and don't know where to buy them, I do have links in the description. Check them out. Amazon links on there. Actually, good deals going on Amazon right now. Check out some of these games. They're actually going down in price. Pretty decent pricing on a lot of these board games. If you're interested in that, check out the link there. Also, like I said, do not forget to enter the giveaway for the Rick and Morty Monopoly board. The freaking set is so cool. I've played it a few times. I have my own really cool board set. Absolutely love it. check that out. Link in the description for that as well. You get multiple entries on that. You get multiple ways to win. All that kind of details will be in the description. But until next time, guys, remember that it's always K-Mac time somewhere. Until then, take it easy and peace out.